really hard to understand viscerally the vulnerability that a temporary visa status has over someone. The threat, I will have your visa cancelled, I will report you, I will cancel your sponsorship unless you do what I say, unless you work extra hours, unless you pay me kickbacks, unless you put up with these foul living conditions, unless you give me sexual services, or worse. That threat, that insecurity in itself creates an enormous power dynamic that those of us who take our citizenship for granted just don't truly understand. It's not a criticism, it's an explanation of the lived experience of a lot of people in our country. The exploitation of migrant workers, this creation of permanently temporary underclasses hidden from the view of society, does us no credit as a people. But it also harms Australian workers. When we fail to act on the exploitation of migrant workers, it puts downwards pressure on the wages of Australian workers. It hurts everyone. The great Australian promise of Australian multiculturalism is a fair go, that everyone gets a fair crack at life here, gets treated fairly under the law, no matter their ethnicity, their circumstance, how long they've been there, their visa class and so on. We're all equal under the law. But one of the most shameful, disgusting examples where we fail as a nation and undermine our own values is the exploitation of migrant workers. It's not good enough that every now and again we see the media splashes and people go, oh, that's quite bad, of people living in squalor, underpayment, sexual and financial exploitation, human trafficking and slavery. They're strong words, but that's actually what's going on in our country with vulnerable migrant workers. And so those opposite want to argue for lower wages, argue for employers to be able to bring in more and more workers on low wages, argue against the role of unions in exposing exploitation,